Let's see if this thing will poop from under its own power. So we're at the Shell. We just got some gas at 91. Oh wait, this is Alabama. We got that 93, and I'm used to that 91. That's all we got out there in Arizona. But got some 91. Getting gas. I got one of them boat jugs that I just bought. The pump back here. And I'm gonna try and rig up that motor tonight and see if I just can't get it to run. I really want to see if it'll run. It was cranking over fine. I bumped the key a couple times, but I'm gonna see if it'll fire to life. And I would like to drive it, but I'm probably not going to, because it's probably not the smartest thing to go drive that car late at night. So now this isn't permanent by any means, and the motor is not permanent by any means, but got that gas can all hooked up. So I just got that battery hooked up. Let's bump this thing over and see what it does. Let me get the choke on it. So I think this carburetor is gummed up. Now it'll run. You can get it to fire on ether. If you dump a little gas down the throat, it'll fire up. But as soon as it's done, stop running. But the pump is working. I disconnected this end of it and cranked it over a couple times. It's a pulse pump. It's shooting fuel, so that's good. He was playing a guitar, now he's cutting some prime rib. What'd you think? Alright, so I got the 4 screws out of the top of this carburetor. I'm gonna pull it out to expose the float and the bowl to get this. I tried to take it all off, but the whole assembly won't come off because I can't maneuver it enough to snake these 2 arms off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off and get the choke arm out of it. There's that. And now let me move on to the next one. I might put it back on though, just so I don't spill this fuel everywhere. Or I might just give it a whirl. No, I might put it back on. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this, and I don't recommend it not one bit, but you can actually take some brake cleaner, put it down the throat right there, and you can fire an engine without a carburetor. A lot of people don't know that, but you can do it. Don't sound good, and I don't recommend it, but a lot of people just don't know that. Little tips and tricks, the more you know, I guess. But yeah, these are some sick pipes they got on here. Alright, so I think I found the current issue with this carburetor right now. So, granted, yeah, there's a bunch of buildup in there, a bunch of varnish, but, so it's got right here, it's got an electronic fuel shutoff. So when you shut it off, it kills the fuel flow so you don't just fill the bowl up, or fill the engine cylinders full of fuel. So, here it is. It's a little solenoid, little fuel shutoff solenoid. And, well, when I got it out, it was frozen. But there's a bunch of old fuel in this thing. It's just filthy. Oof. Yeah, it smells like bad fuel anyways. It don't smell like, because I was spraying, what do you call it? Carb cleaner down the jet where this comes out. Or not jet, but it's actually the fuel feed to this point. And you can't even smell that on it. So it was all gummed up. But I got everything soaking right now in a can of cleaner. One of them carb cleaner. It's like a gallon jug with a basket. Got it all soaking. So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to try and clean this up the best I can. So I got this solenoid kind of cleaned up a little bit. And I tried putting power on it before and it didn't do nothing. So I'm going to go to the positive side of the starter here. You might be able to see it, but you can hear it for sure. So watch the solenoid now. See that? We're working now. But we got this thing hooked up right there out of the way. Let's go ahead and see. Oh yeah, she's getting filled up. Choke should still work. Oh yeah. What do y'all think's gonna happen? You think it's gonna come to life? There's that solenoid clicking over. There we go. It's so close. Like I said, I'm still looking for that donor car, so what do you guys think I should put in this thing? V8, old V8, new V8, inline something, like I'm not sure. I've been looking. I really kind of want to do like a 2-cylinder diesel, but they're hard to find. I can't find one that's what I want to spend is what it is. It's just people want an arm and a leg for them. I can buy but I was gonna say I could buy this car for what people want for them, but shoot. So I'm not gonna point any fingers. Oh, someone left the battery on this thing all night, left the key on, so I cranked it a few times on video. Y'all seen it. I had to get the cables out because it just died. I had to buy a battery charger because I don't have one. So let's see if this thing will fire up. Whoa, whoa, whoa! All right, try it again. Talk about some throttle lag. I'm done. All right, let me adjust this throttle. Oh, this thing's running. Boy, it's light enough. I might drive it right quick. It's running. The throttles are a little finicky, but let's see what it'll do. As y'all just seen, pulled it out. I actually drove it around the block and back over, but it wasn't nothing spectacular. It wasn't fast. It was cool getting this thing on the road and everything, but might try and take it out tomorrow when there's a little more daylight, mess around with it a little more. But it's hard to play with it the way it's set up, because it's not how it was meant to be set up with this engine setup. And I don't know what's up with the issue or what the issue is with it, but once you put it into reverse, or once you take it out of park and put it into the neutral slot so you can drive the car actually, either forward or reverse, it won't drive backward. It just tries to stall the car, even if you wrap this thing up. But I will say, after cleaning that carburetor, this thing it'll fire right up. Even though the fuel's disconnected over there, you can see it'll fire right to life. It's pretty crazy. Gotta get me some new wheels on this thing, wheels and tires. I really want to do a swap on this thing. I'm just not really sure what route I want to go with it yet, you know? Here's a better look at this car. It's kind of got the fuel pump stuff. Well, not fuel pump, but the fuel cell I just was using to drive it. I drove it last night, but Justin decided he was just going to shut the camera off as soon as I pulled out of the driveway. I went around the block and back. But this thing's pretty wild. It's got them spoked wheels on it. This thing puts it on. I don't like them hills though. Last time you could say you drove around in a Model T. Alrighty, so I was really looking forward to, I wanted to do like a full restore on this thing is what I really wanted to do. So I don't think I'm going to do that now because they welded this plate in. This is the engine mount, this bottom piece right here. It runs all the way back and it bolts the transmission. That's the engine mount, and that's the lower half of the engine. The engine actually bolts to that. The crank rotates on the bottom of it, and the oil pan's below it. You see, there you go. There's one weld. There's two more welds. So they stitch welded that plate all the way onto the engine, where the lower or the upper half of the engine bolts to it. There. And that's where the crank rotates, is inside there. So they've got it stitched weld on the outside and on the inside. So they ruined the motor mount for that, just to put this thing on there, which is idiotic, but that's got to go. So what I'm trying to figure out is is I want to know what you guys want to see go into this Model T. There's a few things I'd like to put in there, but some things just aren't looking feasible, whether it be from space-related issues, or I don't want to just go and spend an arm and a leg on buying something. So I'm leaning hard one way, but what do you guys want to see me put in this thing? I mean, it's easy to say you want to see something get put in there. I mean, a realistic thing that I could put in this thing.